Good morning, Rochester ALC, and welcome to another episode of C103 News. I'm Madison.
And I'm Lexi. Hey Madison, have you been enjoying the warm weather we've been having lately?
Definitely. It's really nice to wear shorts and t-shirts again, and to be outside without the air hurting my face.
I agree. It is nice to wear summer clothes again, but it's not so nice to have to look at people who take summer clothes a bit too far.
That's true. Here's our news team with some more info.
Good morning, ALC students. Now that the weather is getting warmer, it's a good time to remind you guys about the dress code policy. Thank you.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm going to be going over the ALC dress code guidelines. Though we don't have any specific rules, there are a few things to keep in mind when choosing your outfits. The main is just keep it not disruptive to anyone's learning. That means no body parts, please. No cleavage, nipples, whatever this is, body, butt, that's disruptive, and you should not do that. No underwear showing either. No bras hanging out or sagging your pants. And if you are sagging your pants, Mr. Zbart has zip ties in the office that you can be told to have put on, and that's lovely. No inappropriate logos. Don't offend anyone with your shirts. No drug-related or guns. No sex logos of any sort. Just keep it clean. Keep it respectful. And just keep in mind when you're deciding what to wear this summer when it's hot that you'll want to respect yourself and others. So don't go showing off your body parts and stuff. There's plenty of ways you can dress just fine and coolly without being flaunting like that. It's okay. Here.
Hello, I'm here with Elizabeth today. So Elizabeth, what do you think about the dress code policy?
I didn't know there was a dress code policy, but I guess we should just follow the rules how it is, I guess.
Are the expectations too high? What do you think?
No, because we should know how to dress properly.
Thank you. Hello, I'm here with Karina today. So Karina, what do you think about the dress code policy?
To be honest, I didn't know that there was one, but we should still follow the rules like as if we were in any other school.
And are the expectations too high?
I don't think so. People should just know what to wear already, so.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Apollinar here, Miss Malone. I'm going to talk to her about the dress code. Why is it important for students to dress appropriately to school?
Well, I think appropriately is subjective, but I think that you want to make sure that you're dressing to be taken seriously and to be successful. And so when you get dressed in the morning, you want to make sure that what you wear is what you're proud to be wearing, and you're able to have a conversation about it if somebody wants to have a conversation with you about what you're wearing.
Thank you, Miss Malone.
Good morning, ALC students. I'm here with Miss Morgan today. So, Miss Morgan, what is the dress code policy?
Well, the dress code policy can be found on the Rochester website under School Board Docs, Code 504, Student Dress and Appearance. In that code, it also can be found in your Rochester Student Handbook, which I'm sure you've all read. Faisal, have you read this?
Nope.
You haven't read it. Okay, so I'm going to give you this copy so that you can read about lots of student behavior besides dress code. But here's the basic gist of it, you guys, without reading it. It basically falls under the very large category that you hear Mr. Zbart saying all the time, citizenship. And the big thing under citizenship is your dress respectful. And there are three areas that are considered disrespectful. If you are wearing something that's offensive, perhaps something that has weapons on it and shows shooting of somebody, or it has a message that's offensive sexually or racism that would offend somebody, you can be asked to take it off. The other area is, are you wearing anything that is illegal for minors, like a Corona's sweatshirt or a sweatshirt with Jack Daniels on it? You're also not allowed to wear that. The big one, though, that we talk about at springtime as the weather gets warmer and people tend to be wearing less clothes is what you're wearing a disruption to education in the classroom? And that one's tricky because that's a gray area. So that's where sometimes girls heard the fingertip rule, where if your fingers go past the bottom of your shorts, the 2-finger rule. We really don't want to get caught up in that because, you know, we're ALC people. We're not all typically big-time rule followers anyway. What we want to get caught up in is what you're wearing respectful, and could it be distractful to people in a classroom trying to get an education? And that's kind of a gray area. So what I try to do and encourage the teachers to do, if we think somebody's wearing something that maybe is too low cut and is a distraction, to respectfully approach that student and ask them if, you know, sometimes there's a hoodie, can you zip your hoodie up? Can I go get you a sweatshirt out of the clothes closet? You know, do you need to go home? We'll try to be respectful with you to say, hey, what you're wearing maybe isn't okay. With the guys, number one violation with the guys, pants on the ground. We have some zip ties in the office. We might respectfully ask you to go ask Karin or Doug for a couple zip ties if you don't have a belt to be able to hold your pants up. I think for the most part, I've got to say 98% of students here are dressing respectfully. They are not a distraction to education. And the few occasions that we have somebody wearing something that is a distraction or is offensive or has something illegal on it, every time I've approached a student, they've been pretty amazing about it. So I hope people will continue to do that. Technically, if a student isn't willing to cover up, pull the pants up, put something over the t-shirt that could be offensive, we do have the right to send you home. And I think you guys kind of know that, right?
Yep.
Any other questions, Faisal?
Yeah, one more. So what are the consequences if students don't follow the dress code
The consequence
policy?
is that, you know, we can have you come to the office, we'll probably call a parent, and I'm going to guess that most parents are going to be upset that you're going to get sent home, and they're going to say, Faisal, put those zip ties on and pull your pants up. I don't want you coming home and missing out on your education. Honestly, that hasn't happened to me here yet this year. Just Friday, I asked somebody to can I find you a sweatshirt? And they're like, absolutely, you know, go get me a sweatshirt, Mrs. Morgan. So I hope we don't have to get to calling a parent and sending a student home.
Well, thank you for your time, Ms. Morgan.
You're welcome, Faisal.
Now that you know the dress code policies, respect yourself and wear appropriate clothing. Deuces.
Remember that even though the weather is warmer, your tops and shorts still need to cover it all. Boys, that goes for you too.
It's only a matter of time before the AC is cranked and it feels cold in here anyway, so you want to keep that in mind when you're getting dressed for the day too.
When it comes down to it, it's about respecting yourself and others.
Lexi, it looks like you're a little tired this morning. Didn't you get enough sleep last night?
I don't know. I got as much sleep as I normally do, probably 6 to 7 hours.
That is definitely not enough. Teenagers need a lot more sleep than that.
You're probably right, but it's hard when I have to wake up early for school. If you're feeling tired today too, you're not alone. My news team did some research about teen sleep habits. Check it out.
Did you know that teens are only supposed to get 10 to 12 hours of sleep every night, but most only get 7? We're going to tell you why that's a big problem.
Statistics show if school started later, there would be a 70% tardy drop. Less kids would take caffeine pills and drink alcohol. Teens who get less than 7 hours of sleep show that they would have a better chance to engage in risky behaviors, such as texting and driving, drinking and driving, and not wearing the seatbelt. Sleep deprivation plays a major role in poor judgment and decision making.
So I'm here with Austin today and we're going to ask him some questions. So how many hours of sleep do you usually get a night?
I think I get around 6 hours of sleep a night.
Okay, do you think that that's enough sleep?
Me personally, no. I need more.
Okay, and do you think that it would be beneficial if the school started later?
Kind of, because we'd have more time to sleep in, but we'd also get out at a later time.
Yeah. And do you think that if the start time was later, that kids would just stay up later?
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Austin.
Yep.
Hi, I'm here with Canal today.
Hi,
How many hours of sleep do you usually get a night?
like 6 or 7.
Is that enough sleep?
No, I'm always tired a lot.
Do you think a later start in school would benefit you?
Yes, I think it would.
Why?
Because you have more sleep and you're not as tired.
If the start time was later, do you think you'll go to bed later?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Hi, I'm here with Anthony today.
Hey.
Alright, so how many hours of sleep do you get a night?
I get about 8.
Alright, do you think that's enough sleep for you?
I think it's enough sleep for me, but I don't know if it's enough sleep for other people.
Do you think a later school's start time would benefit you?
Maybe. I just kind of like getting it out of the way though, coming here in the mornings and then just pushing through it and then get out.
Okay, if the start time was later, do you think you'll stay up later?
I think I would probably, and then just regret it in the mornings. But
Alright, thank you.
yeah, no problem.
So I'm here with Christiana today. So Christiana, how many hours of sleep do you usually get a night?
Usually I go home at like 4:30, sleep. No, I go stay in the living room for an hour, and then I go to bed around like 6:30, 7. Sometimes, if it's lucky, I'll go to bed at 10. Then I wake up really tired.
Okay. And so do you think that the sleep that you get is enough?
No.
No? Okay. And do you think that if the school started later, would that benefit you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I get more sleep, and I'm not trying to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning. Like, that's really doing the most sometimes.
Okay. And if the start time was later, do you think that you would just stay up later?
No.
No? Okay. Thank you, Christiana.
Changing school start times is one critical measure we can take to protect young people's sleep.
It's too bad we start school so early. It sounds like it would be beneficial for all of us to sleep in a little later each day.
I know it would help me. Switch gears for a minute. Here's an update about the 2016 yearbook.
Hey man, what you guys reading?
Reading the yearbook. They're $25 a piece and there's only 38 left. You should get one.
Oh snap! I'm about to get one now.
You get one now.
Make sure you order yours ASAP if you want a 2016 yearbook. There aren't many left, and I'm sure they'll go fast once they arrive in May.
See Miss Baethke with any questions or with your order forms.
If you really want a yearbook but don't have the $25 to buy one, maybe you need to start looking for a job.
If you're searching for a job but don't know where to start, listen up to our next story.
If you're currently looking for a job and don't know where to start, here are some helpful tips and ideas to
Hello, I'm here with Mr. Lynch today.
Hello.
And we're going to be asking him, what are some useful tips? So is it better to get an application online, to do it online, or to ask it in person?
It's best to do whatever they're asking for. The whole idea of getting a job is you want to make sure yourself look as good as possible. If they ask to do it in person, go there, dress nice, get it from them in person. If they say do it online, but I would still call after, like a couple days after, and ask if they received it. So you want to do whatever they ask, because that's the best way they can get your information.
Yeah. So during an interview, what can you do to increase your chances of getting hired?
I think the big thing is practice. It's not something people think I'm just going to go in and be charming and just wing it. Don't do that. You want to think ahead, practice, work on eye contact. People get nervous, they speak faster. The big thing is you want to practice because you want to make sure that you come off as good as possible. And luckily, I teach a class that covers that thing.
What class is that?
Work experience seminar.
Well, there you go, guys.
I take it. Talk to Mr. Molly.
Hi, I'm here with Chanel,
Hi.
and she's the Workforce Career Counselor at the ALC. So do you think it's better to fill an application at online or go up in person and do it?
Well, every business is different. Some of them only have their applications accessible online. So with that, the only option is to fill it out online, but I always heavily suggest doing follow-up calls, giving it a week or two after you submit your application to call the business back and just make sure that they got the application. Simply calling and introducing yourself. Hi, my name is Chanel and I applied for the position of a stocker. And I just wanted to make sure that you received my application.
So say you get an interview, they call you back for an interview. What are some tips you can give to increase your chance of getting hired?
Well, I've got a number of tips. Definitely you want to do your research on the company. You want to know the position you've applied for. You want to know about the business because those may be questions that they ask you. Why are you wanting to work here? And you want to know what you're talking about. You want to turn that cell phone off when you go to the interview. You want to make good eye contact. You want to answer their questions thoroughly, versus just giving yes or no answers. You want to give 2 or 3 sentences, because sometimes in those answers, you will answer the next question they're going to ask you. So just having good body posture, looking nice, making sure you're wearing nice clothing. You're not fidgety, you're giving them your attention. And then when you're done, we always advise asking 1 or 2 follow-up questions, because not only do they have something to offer you, but you have something to offer them as an employee. So you want to find out, what do they have to give you? It may be, what are my duties? When can I start? And then thanking them for their time.
All right, thank you, Chanel.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm here with Mr. Reeker. So, Mr. Reeker, do you think it's better to get an application online or going in person to get it?
Yeah, I prefer to fill out applications online if I can, but if they don't have an online application, go in and ask for one and meet the people and get one there.
All right, so say you get an interview, so what are some tips that you can give to increase your chances of getting hired?
I'd probably dress appropriately for the job you're going to. Dress a little nice, clean up, and then maybe practice some of your interview questions. How you are organized. Do you come on time for work? What are some skills that make you a good worker?
All right,
hey, I'm here with Sheldon today. So, Sheldon, do you have a job?
Yeah, I do.
Where do you work?
I work at Sandberg Law Firm.
Are they hiring?
Not currently, no.
What qualifications do you have to work there?
Not really any qualifications. I got a job through my mom, so.
All right.
Have to
Thank you for
I'm here with Ben today. So, where do you work?
Toys R Us and Famous Footwear.
Are they hiring right now?
Toys R Us is, Famous Footwear is not currently.
So at Toys R Us, what positions are they looking for?
Have a heartbeat and breathe.
All right. What qualifications do you have to have?
Absolutely none.
None? All right, there you go, guys.
So, Carlos, do you have a job?
Yep.
Where do you work?
McDonald's.
Are they hiring?
Yup.
What qualifications do you have to work there?
Be able to listen and work well with other people.
Thank you, Carlos.
So I'm here with Daniel today. So Daniel, do you have a job?
Yes.
Where do you work?
Eric's Bike Shop.
All right. Are they hiring?
Currently, yes.
And so are they any qualifications you need?
Qualifications, mechanically wise. Well, I work in the service, so mechanically wise, you have to be good with customers and you have to be quick on your feet.
Yeah, so I'm here with Raymond today. So Raymond, where do you work?
I work at Chipotle.
Are they hiring? Do you know any chance?
Yeah, they are. They're really looking for people right now.
All right. What are some qualifications you need?
You got to be 16. You got to be able to work in a fast-paced and kind of somewhat stressful environment sometimes during peak hours, and that's about it. You got to be reliable.
All right. Thank you, Raymond. So I'm here with Ben today. So Ben, do you have a job?
I do.
Where do you work?
I work at Breathe Naturally.
And what is that?
It's a filter business.
All right. And are they hiring? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
All right. And do you know any qualifications you need to work there?
None that I know of.
Okay, thank you. Today, so Garrett, do you have a job?
I do have a job.
Where do you work?
I work for an independent contractor as a carpenter.
And are they hiring at all?
They are not.
That's too bad. What are some qualifications you need?
Well, I don't know if they're necessarily qualifications. It's more you just need to know how to tear carpet up, how to, tear floor tacking up, paint, all that good stuff. Got to know how to crown wood and all that. So
basically just know the basics for that.
Yeah, if you know the basics, you're usually golden for any job you do.
All right, thank you.
So now that we're giving you some useful tips and ideas from our staff and students, now you have some ideas on where to start, and now you can start applying.
We have some great resources right here in our building if you're searching for a job and need some help. You can always see Mr. Lynch or Mr. Job with any questions.
Before we wrap things up for this week, here's a PSA from our new Tea Club.
Hi everyone, we're members of the Tea Club, the Total Equality Alliance.
You may start seeing these posters hanging in the windows and doors of the classrooms as a reminder that it's okay to be diverse. Don't be a carbon copy of others. Don't be afraid to be yourself.
It's about accepting each other and our differences and respecting people's boundaries.
So let's keep working towards becoming an inclusive school and welcoming others so that all feel safe.
Thanks.
We can always do better at being a welcoming and inclusive community so that everyone feels comfortable here.
Well, that does it for this week's edition of C103 News. Make sure to tune in next week for another episode.
Have a great week.